Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Well, the WBC has made some updates to its lightweight rankings. Now, what you see in the chart on the left with the pictures of individuals, that's just the ring rankings. That's the rack and stack as far as how the ring has determined who's going to be, who's their champion and who's going to be in the number 1 to 10 spot. And when you take a look at that, it definitely conflicts with the rack and stack of the WBC, which that's not uncommon. You know, every sanctioning body, they have their own criteria and their own way of determining who should be a mandatory and who's going to be in their top 15. But of course, we know at the end of the day, the dollar bill, y'all, is going to make the difference. Who ends up in position to fight for titles and who's going to end up in positions to fight big names. But when you look at the ring rack and stack, you can see they have Lomachenko at number 1, then Davis. I don't know why Lomachenko is still number 1, but it is what it is. Then Davis, then Cruz, Garcia, which again, he should be at 140, Stevenson, Frank Martin, Zepeda, Camboso Jr., Hughes, and Murataya. Now, when you come and look at the WBC's new rack and stack, which is as of 12 September, and if you didn't know, Devin Haney, he's no longer the WBC champion. So Devin Haney is no longer the undisputed champion at 135. So it is what it is. So now you're gonna have somebody fighting for that vacant belt. Now this makes it interesting, people. You see, we don't know why Frank Martin decided not to fight Shakur Stevenson. Frank Martin, they won't disclose justification for not taking that fight. The only thing was said is he wasn't ducking. Now I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this is secret society stuff. Now we know Frank Martin is connected through Earl Spence, who's connected through Al Heyman. Al Heyman is connected just because he's Al Heyman and he's been around all over the world and he has a lot of money and he's very intelligent and he does business with the right people and he doesn't put his stuff out there in the street. It makes you wonder now, with the fact that Devin Haney has dropped the WBC title, maybe Frank Martin and his team know that Devin Haney is about to drop all of those other belts as well. And maybe Frank Martin is going to end up in a position to where it's going to be a little bit easier for him to go on and pick up a belt. That's how I see it. Now, I don't know that, but that's the only thing I could think of, is that he's going to get an easier fight. That way he gets a better, it's more likely that he'll pick up a belt. But then again, I don't know. Still not sure what the hell's going on, but bottom line is Devin Haney is no longer the WBC champion. So you see, Shakur Stevenson's number 1, he's looking for an opponent. Frank Martin's number 2, we're not sure what the hell he's doing, but I'm telling you, Frank Martin is looking for an opponent. Frank Martin bubbled up 2 spots. Vasily Lomachenko dropped down 2 spots. Isaac Cruz dropped down 1 spot. At number 5 is William Zepeda. He stayed the same. Number 6, De Los Santos stayed the same. Number 7, Jermaine Ortiz stayed the same. And then the rest of the other names, for the most part, stayed the same, except for number 14, Abdullaev. But Jermaine Ortiz at number 7, Shushiro Yoshina at number 8, Raymond Murataya. Let me see if I can just pull this up for you. Maybe a little bit easier on your eyes. Let me do this. Maybe a little bit easier for you guys to see it. So this is where we're at with the WBC. De Los Santos, man, he's a killer. But I can't, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I look at this rack and stack, I don't understand. I mean, Stevenson and Martin, okay, Lomachenko, I get it. Some people think he beat Devin Haney, but you know, I don't know. Pitbull Cruz, Zepeda, De Los Santos. De Los Santos, Jermaine Ortiz hasn't fought. He's still holding on. Cambosos is down at number 10. How the hell Cambosos go from being the damn champion? He lost twice to Devin Haney, I get it. They dropped him all the way down to number 10. That's crazy to me. Then you got Maxie Hughes and Keyshawn Davis down at number 12. So Keyshawn Davis, he's now bubbled up a little bit, and he's starting to get his recognition as a top 135-pound fighter. Matter of fact, if you look across all the sanctioning bodies, Keyshawn Davis is number 8 in the WBO. He's number 10 in the IBF. He's number 12 in the WBC and number 9 in the WBA. So he's making his way up the rankings. When you just look at the WBO, IBF, WBC, and WBA, and we're looking for some consistencies here, you can see that Shakur Stevenson and Lomachenko are still ranked pretty high. Shakur is number 1 in the WBO. He's number 1 in the WBC. For some reason, they got him ranked number 7 in the WBA. But Lomachenko is number 2 in the WBO, 3 in the IBF, 3 in the WBC, 4 in the WBA. So for some reason, Lomachenko seems to have a better position than Shakur Stevenson across all the sanctioning bodies. Then we look at Frank Martin. He's number 6 in the WBO, number 6 in the IBF, number 2 in the WBC, and number 3 in the WBA, which is a pretty good position for him to be in. Then you come down, they're talking about Baranchek. Baranchek isn't really on the radar except for the WBO, which I think is just a little bit crazy how, the WBO can have somebody ranked number 4 and the other sanctioning bodies don't even have the person ranked. Just the inconsistencies. But the one fighter out of all these guys, people need to be paying attention to is this guy, Edwin De Los Santos, 16-1-0 from the Dominican Republic. Let me tell y'all something. This Dominican can fight. He can hit everything that you want. He's got it. Okay? So when you come and you take a look at Edwin De Los Santos, his profile, that's him, the killer. He is out here he's a southpaw out here just destroying people. He can fight. He's very explosive, has a great IQ, and I think he's going to be a problem for anyone, especially when you look at the age of him. He's a young guy like Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis, so they're all coming up together. They're all going to be competing. They're all going to be fighting against each other. Let me get rid of this right here. And let's see, there we go. And now you take a look at his KO percentage. That's something else that matters. 88% of his wins come by 88% of his wins are by knockout, man. That is crazy. So it tells you he's got some power. But when we go back here and we take a look at this, just trying to anticipate what's next, I'm telling you right now, I personally think Frank Martin's going to be fed some lower tiered opponent for him to pick up a title. Shakur Stevenson is going to fight somebody so he can pick up a title. And then you may see De Los Santos get a shot. But I'm just telling y'all, man, don't sit here, man, and get your blood boiling over these rankings, because we know these sanctioning bodies do what they want, especially the WBC. But what I don't understand is what these other sanctioning bodies, right? When we take a look at this right here, this is what I don't understand. So Devin Haney's deciding to go up to dare to be great. Why are you guys gonna? Why doesn't he have the title anymore? Why just give up the WBC title? So when is the WBO, IBF, and WBA? He's gonna drop those two? I mean, he's just going up to fight for Regis Prograis' 140 pound title. The thing is, if he loses, he should be able to come back down as the WBC title holder. So I'm not really understanding why he had to really give up that title. I know they have their rules, but it just seems to me that if WBC is going to take that title, and then that means Devin Haney can't have it back, right? Normally, they stripped that man of that title. I just don't understand. I don't understand why they did that. He's going up to challenge an opponent at 140. Maybe this is because he and Stevenson couldn't make the fight. But it's not Devin Haney's fault. He tried to make the fight. I don't know, people. maybe I got to take a look at the WBC rules because I just find that odd. You know, maybe he's not allowed to, like in the WBO. I got it up right here. I'm gonna look at it and then I'll show y'all what the WBC says. You know, in WBO, you're a super champion. You can bubble up, and you can fight somebody. So, I'm not sure why Devin Haney can't go up and challenge a weight division above or below. But let's see what it says. Let me see. I'm trying to find this. I wasn't even thinking about this until I started, doing the video and talking. So what I'm trying to pull up is where it says. I'm pulling up the rules and regulations, right? I'm trying to find where it says if you're a champion and you want to challenge a weight division above, that you'll have to vacate your title or you keep your title. Because I'm not really understanding Devin Haney losing his title. So let me see if I can find that. Okay, so here it goes. Here it goes. All right, let's go right here. So it's pretty amazing how fast you can find something, right? Expand this for you. So what it says here. Champion with multiple titles. I think it falls under here. Let's read together and we can determine if I'm right or wrong. It says, in fairness to other boxers contending for WBC championships, as a general rule, no WBC champion may compete for an additional title in boxing or any other combative sport without first requesting and receiving a written sanction of the bout from the WBC. If the WBC permits a champion to compete for an additional title, the following rules apply. So they have approved him to compete for an additional title. If a WBC champion wins a WBC title in more than one weight division, the WBC may grant the champion 15 days to elect which title the champion will keep and which champion will vacate. If the WBC champion does not make such an election, the WBC shall thereafter have the authority to vacate one of the titles as it shall determine in its discretion. So he hasn't won another title yet, but it looks like he's already vacated. Okay, so let's keep reading. If a WBC champion wins a title of another organization, the WBC may grant the champion 15 days to elect which title the champion will keep and which the champion will vacate. If the WBC champion does not make such an election, the WBC shall thereafter have the authority to vacate the champion's WBC title, unless in the exercise of its sole discretion, the WBC permits the champion to retain both titles. So like a unification. What's this say? If with the WBC's permission, a WBC champion competes for a title in a different weight division, or a WBC affiliated champion competes for a greater title, and in either case loses, the WBC may, in its discretion, but it's not required to vacate the champion's original title based upon its evaluation of the facts and circumstances. So let me read that again, because this sounds like this applies more to Devin Haney. If with the WBC's permission, a WBC champion competes for a title in a different weight division, or a WBC affiliated champion competes for a greater title and in either case loses, right? So if he was to lose the Regis, the WBC may in its discretion but is not required to vacate the champion's original title based upon its evaluation of the facts and circumstances. So bottom line, it looks like Devin Haney, if he's going to go up and fight Regis Prograis, the title shouldn't have been vacated yet. So I don't understand why it's vacated already. here under Section 315, 3.15, special rules regarding a multiple division world champion. The WBC, in recognition of boxing history, appreciates that extraordinary boxers have made a historic impact benefiting all boxers and the sport as a whole by simultaneously winning and defending titles in more than one weight division. Therefore, a current WBC champion who competes for and wins a WBC champion in another weight division may, within 15 calendar days of winning the latter championship, make a request in writing to the WBC that the WBC continue to recognize the boxer as WBC champion of the other division. So this could apply to him too, but he's already vacated it. So that's why I was saying he should have kept the title in both divisions, but I don't know. But he would have to apply for it in writing. But it doesn't say that he hasn't even fought yet, and it doesn't say anything here if a deal is made that a title has to get vacated. That's not what it's saying here. So I don't understand why they did that. In extreme special circumstances involving an elite champion and only upon an affirmative vote of 2/3 of the WBC Board of Governors and its sole discretion, the WBC may continue to recognize such boxer as WBC champion in more than one division. So at the end of the day, okay, when we come back over here, Devin, that title being vacant by the WBC, well, by Devin Haney, just because he signed a deal to fight Regis Prograis, it doesn't line up with the WBC's own rules. It shouldn't have been vacated, not yet. I'm telling y'all, so I want to see what happens now. You know, this is interesting to me, man. Let's wait and see who's going to get that opportunity to fight for that WBC strap, because obviously it's vacant, so they're gonna have two people fight for it. So I'm telling you, I think Shakur Stevenson is gonna become a WBC champion here real soon, people. And some people are saying Devin Haney's putting duck sauce on the fried rice. I don't know if I quite agree with that, because if that's the case, you could say Shakur Stevenson put duck sauce on the fried rice because Devin Haney tried to fight him. You could say Frank Martin put duck sauce on the fried rice because he didn't fight Shakur Stevenson, and he didn't really give an excuse. You could say Lomachenko putting duck sauce on the fried rice because he's not fighting Stevenson, and Stevenson called him out. You could say Haney's putting duck sauce on the fried rice because he didn't do the rematch with Lomachenko. So we could go round and round with the duck sauce, and I like duck sauce. But the bottom line, I want to see these guys get in here with De Los Santos. But the one name that's not on here, and maybe because he's got a title over there, a little WBA strap, Tank Davis isn't on here. Makes you wonder. Let's go back and look at this. Where is Tank Davis, man? Let's see where the hell they have Tank Davis. I'm pulling it up right now. Okay, let me make it clear this X off of here. Let's find out where the hell they have Tank Davis, because it's I find it unusual that Tank Davis. Okay, let's go here now. Make this a little bit smaller. Okay, apologize. Where the hell is Tank Davis? So he's number 2 by the ring racket stack, which we don't agree with. But when you come down here, where the hell is Tank Davis? Hold on. Looks like my cursor's thinking. There we go. Gervonta Davis, he's a WBA World Lightweight Champion. But I guess once you pick up a title, they just don't show you anywhere else. But really, Gervonta Davis, he should be the big dog across all these sanctioning bodies. But it is what it is. He's got a title, so he drops off of the ranking because he's a champion. But anyway, man, that's the latest and greatest. The WBC is they definitely made some changes to the record stack, to the lightweight division. Something's brewing over there, but there's always something brewing with the WBC. That's one thing, man. We may not agree with the things that they do, but they're always thinking. They always have something going on that makes for good conversation and dialogue, right? That being said, y'all keep cool. Let's see who's going to fighting for that vacant WBC strap. I still think it's odd that Devin Haney had to give that title up already. That doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. I'm in the breeze.